BTS V breaks records. Most searched K-pop star worldwide. Overthrows. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. In a digital age where attention is the most valuable currency, Kim Taehyung, globally recognized as V of BTS, has once again asserted an undeniable dominance that transcends the boundaries of music. According to a recent analysis by the resource platform Jagran Josh, the 30-year-old artist has secured the 4th position on the list of Google's most searched people worldwide in 2025. This ranking is not merely a statistic. It is a testament to a cultural phenomenon. V has surpassed international titans of industry and sport, placing ahead of legendary figures such as Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and influential artists like Drake. He trails only behind global heavyweights Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Taylor Swift, effectively making him the #1 most searched K-pop idol on the planet. The report highlights that V's influence is at the center of the topic in more than 70 countries, driven not just by his affiliation with BTS, but by his explosive solo career, his curated and highly popular Instagram presence, and unique fashion sense that has captivated the luxury world. This surge in interest comes at a pivotal moment, just weeks before BTS is slated to make their highly anticipated full group comeback with a new album titled Erarang. The excitement is further fueled by confirmed reports of an extensive world tour that will span 5 continents and include 79 shows across 31 cities. Additionally, in a demographic breakdown of most searched male artists born after 1990, V secured the 6th spot, maintaining his status as a leading global figure since his debut in 2013. However, to truly comprehend the magnitude of this achievement, to understand how a young man from South Korea came to be searched more frequently than the world's greatest athletes, one must look beyond the algorithms and the data. One must look past the Gucci boy aesthetic and the sold-out stadiums to find the story of a boy who was once hidden in the shadows. A boy who grew up believing his destiny lay in the soil of a farm, not the stars of the global stage. The journey of Kim Taehyung is a narrative steeped in unlikely odds and profound emotional resilience. Born in Daegu and raised for a significant portion of his childhood in the rural county of Gyeocheong, Taehyung's early life was far removed from the glitz of Seoul. He was raised primarily by his grandmother, a woman he loved with a fierce, tender devotion. In those quiet years among the fields, his dreams were simple. He did not fantasize about world tours or brand ambassadorships. He thought he would become a farmer, just like his grandmother. The silence of the countryside was his first audience, and his ambition was rooted in the earth. But fate, as it often does, intervened in the most unexpected way. The story of his audition is now legendary among fans, not for its calculation, but for its serendipity. A teenage Taehyung had not intended to audition for big hit entertainment. He had gone merely to support a friend who dreamt of being an idol. He stood on the sidelines, a supportive observer, until a rookie development team member noticed the striking boy with the intense gaze and asked him to audition on the spot. He had to call his father for permission right there in the hallway. That singular, spontaneous moment severed him from the life of a farmer and placed him on a path of thorns and roses. Yet, entering the company was not the start of immediate glory. It was the beginning of a unique and isolating struggle that would define his character. During the grueling trainee period, while other members of what would become BTS were gradually introduced to the public through vlogs and social media logs, Taehyung was kept a secret. He was the hidden member. For over a year, he lived in the shadows. He watched as his future bandmates interacted with fans, built a following, and recorded their journeys. He was there, in the cramped dorms and the sweaty practice rooms, but he could not be seen. There is a specific, piercing loneliness in being present but invisible. He later confessed that during group log shootings, he would stand out of the frame, positioning himself by the trash can or in a corner, just watching the others. He questioned his own worth, plagued by the terrifying thought that perhaps he would be cut from the lineup entirely, that he was hidden because he wasn't good enough to be shown. Imagine the psychological toll on a teenager, far from his grandmother and his parents, living in a state of suspended existence. He was a ghost in his own life, working just as hard as the others but denied the validation of existence. When he was finally revealed to the world just days before the group's debut, the reception was overwhelming, but the scars of that isolation remained. He had learned early on that visibility is a privilege, not a right. As BTS began their ascent, Taehyung faced a different kind of struggle. With his soulful baritone voice and his eccentric, free-spirited personality, he didn't always fit the standard mold of a K-pop idol. In the early years, his unique behavior was sometimes misunderstood. He was labeled with nicknames that dismissed his depth, and his thoughtful pauses were mistaken for blankness. He often struggled to articulate his complex thoughts into words, leading to moments of frustration where he would retreat into silence. Behind the playful smile and the stage persona was a young man carrying heavy burdens. The most crushing blow came in 2016, during a fan meeting in the Philippines. While the world saw a superstar, Taehyung was privately enduring the loss of his anchor, his grandmother. He had to suppress his grief, smiling for cameras and performing choreography while his heart was breaking. When he finally broke down on stage and shared the news with the fans, it was a moment of raw, unpolished humanity. He sobbed for the woman who had raised him, the woman who would never see the global icon he was destined to become. It was a sacrifice of mourning, a delay of grief required by the relentless pace of stardom. This theme of hidden pain resurfaced during the pandemic. In the B album era, V released Blue and Grey, a ballad that served as a window into his internal world. The song was not just a melody, it was a confession of burnout, anxiety, and a feeling of being consumed by a grey fog. He spoke openly about wondering if his path was the right one, questioning his happiness even as he stood at the summit of the world. The most searched person was searching for himself. He admitted to feeling an emptiness when the cheers died down and he was left alone in his room. The contrast between the adoration of millions and the solitude of one is a dissonance that can shatter a person. Yet, Taehyung channeled this dissonance into his art. He picked up the trumpet, he painted, he listened to jazz records in the dark. He learned to be alone without being lonely. His solo album Layover was a testament to this growth. It was not a flashy pop spectacle, but a slow, rhythmic journey through his own pace, a declaration that he would no longer rush to meet the world's expectations. The fact that he is now the most searched K-pop star in 2025, beating out global sporting legends, is ironic. He is perhaps the member who chases fame the least. He prefers old jazz bars to red carpets and quiet walks to flashy parties. He is known for interacting with fans on Weverse not as a celebrity, but as a friend, playing video games with them and giving blunt, honest advice. The world searches for V or Kim Taehyung, not just because he is beautiful, or because his voice is deep and haunting. They search for him because he represents a kind of enigma. He is the boy who was hidden, who became the man everyone wants to see. He is the farmer's grandson who wears Celine. He is the idol who admits to being sad, the star who isn't afraid to show his grays. His rise from the boy standing by the trash can, unseen and anxious, to the man whose name generates more curiosity than presidents and football gods, is a victory of authenticity. He didn't become the most searched person by following a formula. He did it by being unapologetically himself. He refused to compromise his unique rhythm for the sake of the industry's speed. Today, as he prepares for the Arirang comeback and a tour that will take him to 31 cities, Kim Taehyung stands tall. But if you look closely, you don't just see the record breaker. You see the resilience of a man who waited in the dark until it was his time to shine. You see the love of a grandson who still looks up at the sky, hoping his grandmother is watching. The statistics are impressive, but the soul behind them is what commands the true silence of respect. The world searches for him, perhaps, because in his vulnerability and his strength, they find a piece of themselves. And that connection is something no algorithm can truly measure.